The coastal plantation workers had never seen coconuts this large before the storm season arrived.
Several giant coconuts weighed more than industrial cement bags.
The violent tropical storm made the dangerous harvest even more unpredictable.
The harvesting crew prepared reinforced equipment before the first coconut reached the ground.
The first falling coconut hit the ground with enough force to crack the wet earth.
The harvesting crew used cargo lifting cables, normally reserved for construction equipment. The enormous coconut nearly exceeded the lifting limit of the machine. One uncontrolled movement could seriously injure the entire harvesting crew. The tropical storm turned the harvest into a dangerous industrial operation.
Push now! All together! Come on, move it!
The unbelievable coconut measured almost 2 meters across. The massive shell looked strong enough to survive falling from the towering palm trees. The dangerous transport journey became even worse after the roads flooded completely. The overloaded truck struggled to move the enormous harvest through the storm.
Several workers feared the transport vehicle would become permanently trapped.
The harvesting crew worked non-stop beneath dangerous weather conditions. The plantation crew protected the valuable harvest from the violent storm. The giant coconut convoy attracted attention across the entire coastal region.
Many local residents had never seen a coconut this large before.
The convoy traveled dangerously close to the rising ocean water. One sudden movement nearly ended the entire operation. The harvesting crew stopped repeatedly to secure the unstable load.
The giant coconut finally approached the largest processing facility in the province.
The processing factory prepared emergency equipment before unloading the harvest.
The unloading operation required machinery normally used for industrial cargo.
The overloaded crane motors groaned beneath the impossible weight. One uncontrolled swing could destroy the surrounding machinery. Several workers later admitted the steel cables looked ready to fail.
The dangerous unloading operation succeeded by only a few centimeters.
Under factory lighting, the giant coconut looked even larger. The factory engineers immediately realized the harvest was historically unusual.
The digital scale revealed a shocking final weight.
Several veteran workers had never processed a coconut this heavy before.
The dangerous cutting operation finally began.
Only the most experienced cutter inside the factory accepted the operation.
Looks good. Cut here. All right, engaging the blade.
The reinforced shell proved far stronger than normal coconuts.
Look at the flow rate on this one. It's incredibly pure. We should test this batch immediately.
The giant coconut revealed an unusually dense interior texture.
Easy now, bring it down slow. Copy that, copy that. Looks secure on the blocks.
England. The unbelievable harvest quickly became famous across the province.
News about the extraordinary harvest spread rapidly through social media.
Researchers arrived immediately after hearing about the impossible harvest.
The unusual coconut structure surprised the factory scientists. Even the separated shell sections required heavy machinery to move. The factory increased production capacity to handle the extraordinary volume.
The harvest generated enough material for thousands of commercial products.
The processing numbers exceeded every previous factory record.
The massive shell attracted interest from collectors across Southeast Asia. Several artisans requested pieces of the historic shell immediately. The single coconut contained enough liquid to fill multiple industrial tanks. The leftover shell sections still looked enormous beside the workers.
The plantation slowly returned to normal after the historic harvest.
The surviving coconut trees continued hiding unknown surprises.
The overloaded machinery required major repairs after the operation.
The damaged lifting arm barely survived the impossible weight.
The dangerous transport convoy became famous across the region.
The historic coconut became part of plantation history forever.
Entire communities traveled to witness the unbelievable harvest.
The coastal plantation continued producing harvests beneath dangerous tropical storms. The extraordinary harvest was soon prepared for international export. The processed coconut products would soon travel across the world.
The operation required precision until the final stage.
The dangerous harvest transformed the quiet plantation into international news.
Scientists continued studying the extraordinary shell structure for months.
Look how thick the shell is on the inside. It's huge. Wow, I didn't know coconuts could be this big.
The dangerous weather season was far from over.
After the historic operation, ordinary coconuts suddenly looked incredibly small. The plantation upgraded every machine after surviving the dangerous harvest.
The damaged roads slowly recovered after the violent storms.
The factory eventually returned to normal production levels.
The historic shell became a permanent reminder of the impossible harvest.
The exhausted harvesting crew still discussed the dangerous operation months later.
New storms continued forming above the coastal plantation. The massive tropical landscape still hid countless mysteries beneath the trees. Inside the warehouse rested the remains of the legendary coconut.
The historic shell continued finding new life beyond the plantation.
The tropical storms never truly disappeared from the coastal region.
The extraordinary harvest became one of the most famous stories in factory history.
Every worker now searched the trees more carefully than ever before.
The reinforced chains carried scars from the impossible harvest.
The plantation supervisor never forgot the weight of the giant coconut.
The impossible coconut became part of local legend forever. Somewhere inside the coastal plantation, another impossible harvest may already be growing.